Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $1.80. We went as low as $1.77 earlier today. But right now, we are literally down 11 cents from where we were yesterday. And we see how quick XRP moves now. It no longer moves by pennies. It moves by nickels and dimes. So when the rebound begins, we will move back up very quickly when that happens. Everybody is panic selling right now. I see people all over X. Just sold my entire bag. I'm tired of this market. You know, if you make it through this, you will make it to the finish line. You don't sell on red days, ever. That's the only way you ever lose. On red days, you either do nothing or you buy the dip. And the whole market is dipping right now. Look at Bitcoin. It's back down under 85K. Same thing with gold. Gold even dumped out today. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But you got to make it through this if you want to get to the exciting times. This whole cycle has been so different from previous cycles. Even when the chart looks absolutely incredible, like we're about to go, right away, the market comes back down. And then it's a delay once again. But this market could turn around right now and start going parabolic. That's why you don't sell. You want to make money in this space, you got to make it through the dips. The exact reason why the market just crashed. Binance, Wintermute, Coinbase, Trump Insider, Kraken, OKX, they all dumped Bitcoin today. And a lot of people would say this is market manipulation. Other people would tell you it's sellers on those exchanges selling off their Bitcoin. One thing is for sure, though, this was coordinated because gold dumped, crypto dumped, the stock market dumped. And there was really nothing that should have dumped out the market like this. And look at the DXY, it's still falling. So you have the DXY falling, you have gold dumping, crypto should have took off, and it didn't. Instead, it dumped out with everything else. But it is just a matter of time until our turn comes. You see gold and silver right now. They're both still way up. It's going to take a little bit more time, but XRP is going to go way up as well. And when it happens, you want to be here for it. This comes from Max Crypto. This is insane volatility. Gold first dumped 8.2% in an hour and erased $3.1 trillion from its market cap. It then pumped 5.2% and added $1.9 trillion to its market cap. A $40 trillion asset is moving like a meme coin today. And you don't think they're manipulating the price of gold? Absolutely they are. Even Black Swan capitalists just said this in a post. Banks are massively over-leveraged on gold and silver derivatives. To avoid collapse, they suppress prices aggressively. What you're seeing is deliberate. They don't want you holding real assets. They want you tied to digital promises instead. They want to shake you out of crypto. They don't want you holding XRP. That alone should make you want to hold even more. That alone should keep you from selling your XRP. And the ETF inflow today was absolutely incredible. $74.34 million. And that was on a red day. So think about it like this. The ETF buyers, they just bought the dip on XRP. That's 3 days, almost 4 days worth of inflows, because we usually expect $20 million per day. We almost hit 80 million in 1 day. Think about that. And this also leads to scarcity down the road. U.S. government shutdown risk falls sharply after Trump-Schumer funding talks. So first we had the talks about the funding, but then this happened. U.S. Senate fails to advance funding bill to avert partial government shutdown, with the vote officially being 45 to 55. So it looks like we're going to have a government shutdown, and that's set to start this weekend. So that's not good for crypto at all, because nothing's going to get done now. Everything is going to get pushed down the road even more. Every time XRP holders are waiting for something, right away, there's always a delay. I don't get it. And it's always been like that. Then all of a sudden, our time comes and everybody makes money over the course of a couple of weeks. Then we're right back to waiting for something else to happen again. It's just like when XRP was sitting at 50 cents. Everybody was waiting for it to go above $1. Finally, it broke out. And I remember when it broke out right before the presidential election. And people were saying, oh, I just sold my bag last week. I should have listened. We are at that point right now. You don't sell your bag now. We are way too close. The U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee passed its portion of the Clarity Act out of committee on a 12-11 party line vote, with no Democrats in favor. Now, I keep seeing all these people saying the Clarity Act is finally passed, and that's not what happened. We still have a long way to go. Chad Steingraber laid it out. First, the committee files its official report and the bill lands on the Senate legislative calendar. Then, Majority Leader Thune decides when to bring it to the floor. If there's a unanimous consent agreement, debate moves fast with set limits on amendments and timing. If not, we're looking at a motion to proceed, which can get filibustered. If it reaches debate, senators will fight over the fine print. Consumer protections, the definition of a digital commodity, fraud provisions, etc. All fair game for amendments. Then comes the cloture vote. If opponents try to stall, 60 votes are needed to end the debate and move things forward. Final Senate passage only requires a simple majority. Sounding needlessly complex so far, it gets worse. The House already passed its own version, H.R. 3633, back in July. That bill is broader, covering both CFTC and SEC jurisdiction. The Senate version is narrower, focused on CFTC and digital commodities. So even if the Senate passes clarity, the House has options. Pass the Senate bill as is, amend it, substitute their own text, or negotiate. The most likely scenario, a conference committee. Senior members from both chambers hash out a compromise into one final text. No more amendments allowed. Both chambers vote up or down. Then it goes to the president's desk. He signs it, and we have ourselves a law. If he vetoes it, and he won't, Congress needs 2/3 in both chambers to override it. That's how far we still have to go. And the whole reason I read through all of that is to give you an idea on what we're still looking at before we get clarity in the United States. And it's absolutely ridiculous. This should have already been a done deal. This should have already happened. But they don't want you earning on stable coins. That's where all the focus is now. Not about advancing things. It's all about me and you not making money off of our money. XRP chart screaming incoming volatility. So we already know there's going to be more volatility, and they're talking about a possible break above $2.10 resistance, or the possibility of a bear case where we go down towards $1.80 support level. Well, we just went to $1.77. So now I'm expecting a rebound from here. But that same volatility is what brought you into crypto. You know, everybody panics on red days, but this is the same volatility. This is the whole reason you're here, because volatility leads to us getting rich. There's nowhere else where you're going to watch an asset like a cryptocurrency going from literally under a penny to $3 or $4 in a very short period of time. You know, crypto can retire you, but you have to have patience. You also got to leave your emotions at the door, and you have to have the stomach to hold when the price is dumping out. If you could do all of that, you will get financial freedom. XRP millionaire wallets rise for the first time in 4 months. So all these millionaire wallets, they keep showing up one after another. And it's because when people are panic selling, they're buying the dip. That's why there's now more XRP wallets holding more than 1 million XRP. Because the whales are buying when people are selling. And that's not going to stop. That's why I always urge you not to sell your XRP. That's why I always urge you not to sell your entire bag. No matter what the price goes to in this parabolic run we're all waiting for, don't sell your entire bag. For the first time ever, we are now talking about scarcity for XRP. And if that scarcity happens and you sell your whole bag thinking you're going to buy back in, you might not be able to buy back in. It might all be gone. And they're planning long-term lockups for XRP as well. So as long as retail doesn't panic sell, the whales get what they already got and nothing more. Think about it like that. XRP at $126 just leaked on CNBC. They'll call it a glitch. I call it the future peeking through. And you see it right here. Now, some people said it was just an error, that they were trying to show the price of Solana. But why does this always happen for XRP? That's the part I don't get. We only see glitches for XRP. And I always said those glitches lead to riches. Because when we see those glitches, I really do believe that's the banks testing XRP in the background. But then when you see something like this, why is it only this cryptocurrency? Why does this only happen with XRP? Maybe because they're trying to show us where it's going. XRP channel map points to $200 ultimate target. And this comes from Greg. And what he's talking about is how we're following the 2017-2018 run from back here. And he's thinking that this, if we repeat that run, we could possibly see a $200 XRP. I see a lot of other people saying the same thing right now. Here's where they think we actually are. We're waiting for this to still play out. Other people think we are here waiting for this right here. Honestly, I think all we've seen so far for XRP was a correction because we got a pro-crypto administration. I think there's a very good chance we see at least $50 plus during this run-up when it happens. But that's what you got to be here for. You don't want to be that guy who sold and then all of a sudden XRP breaks out. Could you imagine the regret you're going to have once that happens? And that happens to people every single cycle. People get frustrated, they sell off, and then what happens next? Crypto goes parabolic. Then they're all over X saying, I wish I wouldn't have sold. I can't believe I sold right before it broke out. Then they want to go and chase the next 100X or 20X or 50X. But those 20X, 50X, 100X tokens, they're going to be gone soon. regulations are going to get rid of 99% of the cryptocurrencies that are out there. And what we're left with are going to be the winners. They're going to be the future. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. Smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.